They told me my twin never made it out of the delivery room, yet yesterday, I saw him at the market. At first, I thought my eyes were lying. I was at Madame Ketchy's tomato stand, bargaining over a basket, when I noticed him walking past with a sack of rice balanced on his shoulder. The same height as me, the same tilt in his steps when carrying something heavy, even the small scar above his left brow was there. My hand froze midair on the tomatoes. My brain struggled to match what my eyes were telling me. He turned slightly, and for a fleeting 2 seconds, our eyes locked. My name is Nkem, 32 years old, first daughter of my mother, and according to every story I've ever been told, the only surviving child from her twin pregnancy. They said my brother was stillborn. My mother, Igioma, swore she saw his body wrapped and taken away before she lost consciousness. And because she hates revisiting sorrows, that was the last word I ever heard about him. I live in Onitsha with my husband, Ibuka, a 38-year-old auto spare parts trader. He's a broad-shouldered man with a quiet voice that often hides his sharp temper. We've been married 6 years without a child, which has given my mother-in-law every reason to keep reminding me of my failures. Ibuka rarely interrupts her, but his silence sometimes cuts deeper than insults. Yesterday was supposed to be just another market day. I tied a yellow scarf over my hair, slipped on a simple Ankara dress, the one I wear when I don't want attention, and carried my big brown handbag. But the man I saw wasn't just similar to me, he was me in male form. My palms grew sweaty at once. Nkem, you know one by again? Madame Ketchy's voice yanked me back. I muttered for her to keep the basket aside and hurried into the crowd after him. He moved quickly, weaving past the butchers, through the yam section, heading for the narrow gate beside the old post office. I called out, "Brothers, excuse me," but he didn't turn. Then he stopped, turned, looked straight at me. His eyes were steady, almost familiar, and what he said next drained the strength from my knees.
Nkem, you know who you are.
But you must never tell anyone you saw me. He didn't give me a chance to reply. Before I could open my mouth, he turned and melted into the blur of the market crowd. I stood there, my body stiff, people brushing against me, the scent of smoked fish and fresh mangoes filling the air, but my mind was far away. I wanted to run after him, but my legs felt heavy, like someone had poured cold water over them. By the time I finally forced myself to move, he was gone. I followed the path towards the small gate near the old post office, scanning every face, my heart thundering in my chest. What I felt wasn't exactly fear, and it wasn't joy either. It was the strange trembling you get when life suddenly twists in a direction you never imagined. When I got home, Ibuka was sitting in the parlor, bent over his phone, while one of those noisy Yoruba films blasted